cue.
Welcome to the DL Gaming Podcast. I'm Bobby.
I'm Nick.
I'm Amanda.
I'm on vacation. It just started today. Today was my first day. Doesn't feel like one yet because I had a bunch of shit to do. But not a bunch of shit, but you know, we're getting there. I'm gonna ease into this vacation. I got 10 days off. It's one of those things with construction. It's like it was completely unplanned, but I'm in between jobs. Not like I got laid off, but like you know, that was really hard, and we're gonna start this other thing that's really hard. So you better go rest your knees for a week. All right. Okay, boss. It's that kind of thing. So, and they pay the whole thing, so which is nice.
I mean, that's awesome. It's kind of weird that it's unexpected because, like, I would have planned like playing certain video games with you during this time. So we'll talk.
You got 10 days to plan it out. 9 more days to plan out. I plan on playing a lot of VR. I want to knock out all the VR. So not all of it, but like a lot of it.
I would love to play a lot of VR with you. Actually, that's what I've spent a lot of time playing.
Yeah, and we're on the same schedule these days too. So
that's very true.
And we're back.
That's pretty good.
We're back after a long time, right? We're all here together.
Yeah.
The gang.
The gang is back together.
Well, Bobby's only here in spirit, he will only be a spirit soon. Poor guy sounds like he's dying. How you doing, Bobby?
I'm doing okay. Yeah, I'm a little sick here. Got COVID on the way back from Europe. How about that, man? Got that new super strain too. It's a doozy. You think I sound bad now? You should have heard me 2 days ago. I sounded like a fucking zombie. But that's all right. I had a lot of time to play video games. Wasn't too sick to sit on a computer chair and waste a bunch of time playing Hearthstone. So I'm excited to talk about that.
At least you didn't get it on the way there, dude. That would have been the worst case scenario, right?
Dude, yeah, you would have been.
Yeah, that would have been terrible. But the strain that I got was like from Africa, and it's spreading right now all through that area. And so there's no way, or it's really unlikely I would have caught it over here, or I don't know. I guess I could have caught it while I was out there, but no, I caught it stuffed in a plane with a bunch of other people, like a bunch of sardines, man.
You got it. You have the European strain. It's kind of like in vogue. You have the new style before it even got to the U.S., dude.
Yeah, it's real classy.
After this podcast, and the FBI is going to come to your house.
So, is it official? Can we say that we're going to get a Euro Trip 2022 DLG Con podcast?
The DLG Con.
Wait, what?
DLG podcast.
Oh yeah. Right after our Star Wars podcast, and then our planned audio drama.
Dude, I do an audio drama. Hell yeah!
As long as his vocal cords don't turn into paper mache between here and then, we'll be okay.
For sure.
Hey, Chris, we got a new patron.
Yeah, we got a new patron, Memorize65. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for supporting us. Also, people are messaging me and Amanda and. I assume you guys as well. The Discord and the Patreon thing should work automatically, but sometimes it doesn't. So if you're on the Discord and you think you need a green name, definitely come through and ask us. And also, if you haven't got your t-shirt yet, all you have to do is log into your Patreon. And I sent you a code. It's right there. Get a shirt. I got a beautiful Movies on the DL one. I think it's wonderful. So
got one with that Poppy on it?
Oh yeah, fuck yeah, Poppy. Oh, Poppy's
hell yeah. Our trademarked image that we've only used for such a short amount of time.
For the best thing we ever did? Of course. Yeah. So if you're out there, do it. And if you like the show, you can throw some money our way.
Awesome. All right.
Yeah. And if you haven't got a sticker, that's because I'm a fucking doofus. I'm working on it.
All money will go to Bobby's recovery fund. So.
Right.
Bobby, do you want to do it, or do you want somebody else to do it? Lead the show?
Oh no, it's fine. I'm all right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. Let's talk about some video games here. Let's get into it, man. It's been long enough. On the radar, games that have come to our attention. First one I'm going to start off with is MultiVersus. Now, this is a game that I saw pop up on the front page of Steam, and also a lot of people are streaming it right now. I watched some Twitch, and it is a platform brawler, much like Super Smash Bros. Yeah. But it's got all these different characters, these different intellectual properties like Bugs Bunny, Shaggy, Scooby Doo. For some reason, LeBron is in there too. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's got all these
The
different
new
people
Space
in it.
Jam.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. It's got
Yeah.
Adventure Time as well. It's the Warner Brothers suite, if you will. I kind of like when I first saw this popping up everywhere, I was dismissive of it because there's so many Smash Brothers clones that are just like kind of cash grabs. The Nickelodeon one was just like kind of awful, and
It was terrible.
there's been other ones throughout the years. But then I started watching one of my Street Fighter streamers, JM Crofts. I was watching him, and it looks like he's doing promoted content for it, but I'm watching the promoted content where he goes, every character, and I'm like, oh, there is a lot of depth in this game. There's like a fair amount. Each character has their own things going on, like their own abilities, and they all have their own abilities, but they all have their own like sub abilities that they have going on, like things that go on with that are true to that character. And like, let's say Valma, she, once she finds clues, I guess clues are kind of floating around just for her. But once she collects like 3 clues, I think she uses some like investigate ability, and then she does more damage from then on because she's found out the like weaknesses of everybody. But that's just
cool.
her. That's just her. Everybody else. Iron Giant is huge. He's a giant player on the screen. But he both throws out bolts, like like a bolt, like a bullet, and then if you go and recover that bolt, he uses the bolts to build his bolt meter. Once he fills up his bolt meter, he can use those to become completely invulnerable, which he needs because he's so big that nobody's ever going to miss him ever. So he has this invulnerability, but you have to be on the offensive in order to have any defense. So anyway, yeah, it's a well thought out game from what I've heard. It's very positive right now with 41,000 reviews. It's free to play. I have it downloaded. I just haven't played it yet, but it's funny. I'm stacking all these things. I got a whole week, and then it's going to be the end of the week, and I'm going to be like, I didn't do shit.
I didn't play anything.
I didn't play anything.
Yeah,
It looks really interesting.
Yeah.
I think it
for sure.
looks beautiful, and I've heard a lot of good things about it as well. But I mean, one of the things that F and Sweet Ray said in the channel or in the Twitch chat that like the controls aren't exactly the best. So maybe there's some things to work on there, but it does look like it's open beta, so I'm sure that they hopefully will listen to things like that and kind of improve on the controls. But so far from a lot of people that I've been talking to, because I know I have a lot of friends that have been playing this and looking at it, like they are having a blast. They're like, I haven't had this much fun since Super Smash, So
Yeah.
that's kind of cool. It's high praise.
What was that? About 3 years ago, Bobby, that I did like a review of all the ones that are available on PC, all the King of the Hill games, and they all came up wanting for the most part. Nothing Super Smash, but hey, if we get something close and it has actual cool IP characters, why the fuck not? And free to play.
Yeah.
And nobody's complaining about microtransactions yet. So
Nice.
Yet.
yet.
Yeah.
So a new mod came out for Skyrim, which is shot up to number 1 on the mods. What is that? Mod Nexus? And
Nexus mods.
These people will not. It's been what, 15 years or something? 10, 12 years, something like that. They won't leave this game alone. They just keep going and going. I posted a graphical video the other day. I could not believe how good it looked. AAA brand new, came out yesterday type graphics. But anyway, this is called Skyrim Together, I believe it's called.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can play through the game in co-op up to, I believe, 4 players. I don't know how much it's in early access right now or beta. There are some bugs, but that didn't stop it from climbing the ranks. People have been trying this for years and it hasn't really ever panned out, but now it seems that it works. It's crazy.
I think the main struggle that like the modders had was the game state for the main quests lining up with everybody at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think these guys cracked the code. I've seen so many like Skyrim multiplayer videos, but a lot of people are saying that this is hands down the best one. Like nobody really crashes. The only thing that really affects it is like disconnects, but even then, like it's not that often. So I would like to try this with somebody. So.
Hey, Sniper, how far did you get in your vanilla playthrough from like what 2 years ago?
You
You
know,
and Rianne were supposed to start playing, right?
yeah,
Something
we
like
we
that?
started playing a couple months ago. I think we're like 25%, like a quarter of the way through the story so far. It's been good.
Cool, man.
Yeah,
Um,
I've never beat the game. I told you that before, right?
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I've never beat the game. I always become like a blacksmith in that first town and like get married and start a family there. So yeah, that's what that game is for me. So this will be the first time we beat it. Hopefully we do beat it.
What is the Lost Wild, Dink?
So if you're a big fan of survival horror games like Outlast or Alien Isolation, this is a new one that's coming out. It looks like to be a survival horror game in sort of like a Jurassic Park kind of environment. Um, the way they described the game and showed some of the gameplay is that you are really not fighting the dinosaurs. You're more tricking them and getting them to attack each other or distracting them or intimidating them. You play as a lady, and you're going through the forest, which is kind of interesting for survival horror, right? Like being in a super long, like wide open area compared to like Outlast, where you're in a little asylum. But it looks really good. Like the graphics and like the motions and like the physics, like they look really good. So I'm definitely keeping those on my radar. I'm a huge fucking dinosaur. Like I'll buy any game with dinosaurs in it, really. Unless it's like a park management one. But
Have you tried Go Home Dinosaurs?
no, what's that?
Look it up later. But Bobby has an erection right now. Bobby, is this not fucking the shit?
Looks pretty good. I don't
Yeah.
know what was that dinosaur game that we all got baited by though? The Stomping Lands. I
Oh,
Oh,
mean,
yeah,
the
the
one where you
Stomping
play
Lands.
as the dinosaur?
no, this game
No.
never even came out. It
Was it the
looked
one that was
amazing.
a asset flip? Is that the one
Yeah,
you're talking about? Yep.
it
I don't
wasn't
even
an
know if it
asset
was.
flip.
No, it was just it was in like the early days of like Steam Greenlight, I think, and it looked really, really promising. And I guess the developer just disappeared with everybody's money or something like that.
Oh
Something weird
damn.
happened.
Oof.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm a little cautious of dinosaur games now, but this does look good. The graphics look really
Does.
good.
Yeah, they do.
Listen, I kind of feel like Annapurna, the publisher, has been pumping out some really good stuff. I mean, moving along with that, I think that another great game that came out recently that's on my radar from Annapurna Interactive is Stray. And I know that a lot of people talked about and have been talking about it. It's rated overwhelmingly positive on Steam, and I definitely made the jump and I played probably about an hour of it. It is a short game. I heard that it takes about 5 hours to finish, but nobody that I've heard from ever said that it was like not worth it. They really enjoyed it and really really loved it, and it seems to be a really fun and interesting game. I love all the little details that they have of the cats where you can just be like a little shithead and knock things off. Like you could knock paint cans off and just crash into somebody. You can like rip up people's rugs and furniture, which is hilarious to me. That's very much like a cat, but it is like a really good like more story kind of base game where you get lost and you're trying to get out of this very cyberpunky kind of world where everybody is like a computer person essentially. And I don't know, I really love the game so far and I've been definitely enjoying it and enjoying the environment of it, but I haven't played it enough to really move it onto my highlights instead, so that's why I kept it on my radar. But so far it's got really positive reviews and everything.
How much was it, Days?
It is $30, which I feel is a little on the steep end. I think when it goes on sale, it's for sure a recommendation when it's on sale. But it is kind of one of those things where it's like if you're really craving it and like craving like a really nice atmospheric game, because the music is really good in it too. And I think it's solid. I think $30 is a little on the high end for a game that only is like 5 hours long, but at the same time, it's done so well and so many people love it, and I mean, I'm loving it so far. I don't necessarily feel like it isn't worth 30. I just feel like that's really the max that that
it should be.
could pay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
We
not.
bought it on PS5.
I think it's a good game. I don't think it's to the level like it knocked off God of War as the 50th best game ever on Steam, and I'm just like I think it just hit this cross section of people that love cats and then like love cyberpunk, and it just kind of like maybe it gets extra points because it scratches a couple of itches that people have. Like there's never been a really good cat game, you know what I mean? And so the internet was built for cats. I'm pretty sure. I've been told that. So yeah. Anyway, I'm sure
Absolutely.
it's a good game. I don't know if it's like God of War level. You
I
know
don't
what
think
I mean?
I don't think it's God of War level.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say that straight up. I think this is definitely a game that just was really advertised well as well. Like I saw a shit ton of stuff of streamers. Like this was another game that was picked up and really exploded in the streaming community, and I think that really impacted a lot of it cuz I heard so much hype when I first started playing it, and I'm not really sold that the hype was worth it, but it is still like a really awesome and fun and really cute game that I definitely enjoy. But yeah, I agree with you, man. I definitely don't think it's at a God of War standard. That's not
Level.
fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so not fair to God of War.
Speaking of God of War, as soon as I beat, I'm really trying to get into longer games now. I've been playing Final Fantasy VII nonstop. That's my next big title after Final Fantasy VII, which I've been playing, at least every other night. What is going on? What's Dinkum? I'm hearing people talk on the sides. I'm hearing side voices talking about Dinkums. What are we talking about here, Bobby?
Dinkum is very similar to my time at Porsche, I suppose. It's that type of game, like an adventure farming simulator, I guess you could call it. But this takes place in the Outback, which I thought was a really interesting setting for it. It's 3D animated, and it's got a pretty similar graphic style to the My Time at Porsche or My Time at Sandrock games. And I always enjoyed those. But I just really like the idea of the setting being in the Australian outback. Plus, it's multiplayer too. And that's really all I got to say about it. It looks pretty cool here. I don't believe this one is out yet, though. What is the release date on this?
Oh, it's out.
it
Rihanna's
is.
playing it right beside me.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
what I'm
shit.
talking about, man. That I'm hearing her complain about prices and
Yeah.
are Dinkums the currency?
Yes, the currency are dinks.
Okay.
It's exactly like Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
Like you start off a million dinks in debt, and you have to get login contracts and expand your island, invite people to it. Yeah, Rihanna's played it. I don't know, Rihanna, how many hours have you played this for?
Of Dinkum?
Yeah.
I've probably played maybe 10 or 12 hours in the last 2 days.
So yeah.
How does she like it?
Well,
She loves
time
it.
to get
How does
this
she
to
like
Leslie.
Okay.
She fucking loves it, and I think I might be playing it too because it's up to 8 players multiplayer on one island. So that's awesome.
What?
For people that don't have a
That's
Switch.
awesome.
Yeah.
How much
Well,
is it?
What's the decal to Dink conversion rate?
37 decals to Dink at the moment, but who knows? Inflation might ruin that.
After that DLG bump, who knows?
Yeah. It's funny, dude. When I met with a listener, Nyonko, in Belgium, and he fucking popped a decal joke on me. I got this Belgian waffle, and he's like, "Oh, did they take your decals back there?" I was like, "What the fuck is that bullshit?" Yeah.
It is, for anybody that is curious about Dinkum's price, it is $20.
$20, not
I might have to
bad.
pick that up for me and Leslie.
20
We love Animal
decals.
Crossing. I was actually going to talk about it later, but we've been playing nothing but Animal Crossing and some other stuff.
Is Animal Crossing, I know it's multiplayer, like you can go into other people's villages and towns, but is it multiplayer in the sense that you can both share one space and work
You
together on it?
can, but it's a little funky. So you can play on the same island, but all your resources are shared. And so
And it's weird because you have to invite the other person, purchase a plane ticket, and fly to their island. It's a whole jumping through hoops. So 8 people on one island, multiplayer right off the bat sounds fucking awesome.
yeah,
Consider this game bought for me.
it's called Dinkum.
Dinkum. Yep.
Dinkum. We should all say it at the same
Dinkum.
time. Ready? Dinkum on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Dinkum.
Dinkum.
Pickles.
What's next?
Well, I guess I'll talk a bit about what I've got, which Emilio, you might be really interested in this, talking about VR. I've been playing a lot of VR. I've been trying to make myself exhausted so that way I can sleep. And so I've been playing a shitload of Beatsaber and Cybrid, and I was going down a rabbit hole of how to get into the modded side of Beatsaber, which essentially you would download this app called SideQuest, and through SideQuest you can get like another thing of BF is what it's called. There are a lot of YouTube videos out there, and I would definitely advise looking them up for your own thing, because it does seem like Quest is going to be a little bit different than like the Index in terms of how these modded stuff's going to work. And I put it on my radar because I can't figure it out just yet. I keep having this issue where even though I've downloaded songs, they're not truly transferring over to Beatsaber, and I think it's because I am using Steam VR that I'm seeming to have an issue. So if anybody listening does have any great suggestions on how to do it, especially when you're using a Quest going into Steam VR, like I'd love to hear it. But it looks just so great. Like the ability to be able to play custom songs and shit would just be so awesome. Like, holy shit, give me Eminem. Like, I want to do Beat Saber to Eminem, dude. Like, that would be awesome. Yeah, fuck yeah. Like, as soon as I saw that you could get, as soon as I saw that you could play like Kendrick Lamar's DNA song, I was like, yeah, there should be more hip hop fucking songs on Beat Saber. That would be so sick. And so,
yeah, why not? Hip hop has so many fucking awesome beats. Like, it has to go on there.
Right? And so I mean there's a lot of them, and like the modding community for VR seems to be really fantastic as well. I just haven't truly cracked the code, so to say, with it. But SideQuest is definitely a really cool and helpful thing. It's just, there's something going on, and I think it's the connection between the modded form on Oculus into Steam VR that I haven't truly figured out yet, but everybody should check it out if you're into it.
Days, of course, you're doing all of this not to play copywritten songs at all, or any kind of protect.
Of course not. No, I don't do anything illegally. I am a developer. I'm just developing my developing skills. So,
right. So I'm on the other side of this. Obviously, I'm on your side of this, but we had just set it up, and Mila wanted to play, and then there was the Billie Eilish pack. So if you want to go the official route, it's just to give people an idea. I think we got 10 songs, and it was $12.99. And then I ran it by Mr. Evan Sweet, and he said that he does it the other way, and that it's great because you have all the songs and it's fantastic. But you could definitely tell the actual movements that you're the syncing up and the movements that you're doing, it's all really well thought out when it's done professionally, and then it's a little less so. But I would definitely take the other one too. I see people doing Rap God on YouTube. I've probably watched 10 videos of people doing Rap God because it's so impressive.
Well, and that's why I like having both, because honestly, I have almost all the music packs because I am obsessed with Beat Saber, and I bought almost all the music packs. I did not buy the one that has LMFAO and Kendrick Lamar in it because it's rated terrible on Steam. But the Linkin Park one is fucking awesome. The Green Day one, in my opinion, sucks. Billy, because it's just boring. But Billie Eilish, I think, is a pretty decent one. The Lady Gaga one I thought was really great, but the newest one that they had out, the mixtape one, man, that shit's great. It's like all the and to me, it's like all the music that I played playing RuneScape, and like it's hard. It's the hardest one, I think. The latest whatever mixtape that came out, but they have like Darude Sandstorm on there, and it's great.
Nice. Yeah. Would you recommend that I pick up all the mixtapes then, or just the most recent one?
I would definitely recommend picking up like the latest mixtape, because that one's super good. The one with Darude Sandstorm on it is really good, and they have Fatboy Slim on there, and it's fantastic. It's very tough. Songs. It's very tough, but it's really good. But I mean, if you were a fan of Linkin Park, the Linkin Park one is amazing too, like I said. And then I thought the Skrillex one is hard and pretty good, but it's also very awkward. There's a lot of things in it that just really don't feel intuitive. I'm at this weird spot where like I play on hard and it's easier than playing on medium.
Weird.
Yeah,
That's
well,
how
because
Guitar Hero is for a lot of people.
intuitive. Yep. 'Cause it's
Yeah, it's
intuitive.
It's really weird. I've
Uh,
heard that before, that like a lot of beat games and like rhythm games, that if you're used to them, playing them on the easier difficulty is harder.
Yeah.
So
It could
Totally
be
agree with
because
that.
they're skipping natural beats in order to make it easier. You know, I did air quotes for nobody because my camera's not on. But yeah, it could be that like, you know, the hard is actually every single beat in the song, and then the other one's skipping beats to try to make it easier.
It's
But
most of
anyway,
them.
Bobby, I'm not gonna try to pronounce your next thing here.
Oh, really? Wow. Okay. Yeah, Lian Lee, the Lancool 3. Lian Lee is a company that's made computer cases forever and ever. I used to always buy Lian Lee cases back in the day. They're very simple, no nonsense, really effective cases. Um, I think no, I've had Corsair the last few times, but I'm shopping around right now. I'm looking to build a new computer, maybe later in this year after the GTX or the NVIDIA 4000 series comes out. If those are at a decent price and not sold out, which it seems like they will be. So this was the case that I was waiting and waiting for, the Lancool 3, the Lancool Mesh 3, I should specify. The Mesh 2 was really, really good. Gamers Nexus said it was like one of the best cooling cases of the year it came out. So the third one, I thought I'd wait and see what this one looked like. Excuse me, I did cough there. And it's pretty good. The reviews are out. The case is not yet for sale, but like they've given it to everybody, and they're all reviewing it on YouTube. All the people who get like the first versions of it. The cooling's pretty good on it, and I don't know. The design is pretty good. I'm not a big fan of the windowed cases, but it's either going to be this or the Fractal Torrent. And I might end up going with the Fractal Torrent. Seems like the GPU cooling is better on it, and it's just more of a simple, no nonsense case. But I don't know. I still kind of like the look of this one, and it's got four slots for 3.5-inch hard drives, which I actually do need, and it's hard to find that in cases these days. But yeah, excited to finally do another build. It's been 4.5, almost 5 years since I built
That's
my last computer.
Crazy, dude. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
It's a long
I
time.
feel like Bobby's like looking at reviews and the thing he's in and how much nonsense it has, and he's looking for the lowest nonsense for each case. And these are the two lowest nonsense cases for sure.
he's like,
Well,
They have
I need
buttons.
ones. Well, my whole idea with the last computer I built was silent. Like I really wanted one that was quiet, and I got a small case. The airflow is not very good, but it is very, very quiet. But it is significantly hotter than any computer I've had. It hasn't been a problem. This thing runs 24/7. It's been doing it for 4+ years, and never really had any issues. So. I guess it's all right, but I'm really focusing on airflow. I'm going with that new i9, that Intel i9 processor, which needs a lot of cooling. So, yeah,
I have
it's
an
going to be
i9.
expensive.
You're definitely gonna need cooling for it.
Hmm.
$0.01 per
All right.
square inch. I feel like that's must be a hardware spec somewhere, right?
Hmm. Yeah,
On
I don't do
Bobby's
the
radar,
RGB
yeah.
stuff, man. I can't do the RGB and the super loud stuff. I'm looking for something super effective.
Apparently the
got a lot.
40
Go ahead.
apparently the 40 series, like from what people are saying, the 3070 is better than the 4070 is going to be better than the 3080 and 3080 Ti. So
That's usually the case, right? Somewhere around there. Or
Yeah,
3080 Ti, that would be a huge step.
they're
I
saying
mean-
that the 4070 is going to have 12 gigs of like RAM minimum.
And I don't know if it's true, but 800 watts pulling something crazy. I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they're supposed to
Have a-
drain a ton of power. Like they use a whole lot of power. So I'm probably gonna have to get another PSU. I
Jesus Christ.
I got an 850 watt, and I thought that was gonna be good, but apparently, I don't know, man. Because back in the day, I bought like a 1200 watt, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to SLI eventually. You know, I'm going to run 2 graphics cards, so I'll just get the bigger power supply. I never did. So when I built the last computer, I was like, 850 is fine. That'll handle 1 GPU, doesn't matter. I had no idea these new graphics cards were going to be that power hungry, and they're just going to keep going up and up. So,
Yeah,
Yeah,
mine's
you
a
know, I had this thought today when I was looking at the size of the 4000 series, and I was like, the 40 series, and I'm like, they keep getting bigger and they keep using more electricity. I'm like, is the technology really getting better, or are they just getting like I
putting
think
more shit in it.
the
More
40
is
series
more.
just has like 820 series inside of it. That's all it is. It's just like getting more convoluted and taking up more size.
That'd be hilarious if that was the case, where it's just like a fucking clown car. There's like, hey, wait a second, there's 8 1080s in here.
Yeah.
uh,
All
I
right.
have the most on the radar, so I guess I'll go first. I went to the San Diego Comic-Con. I live in San Diego, so it's this nice little like as if we didn't have enough nice things going on here. Um, we get the best Comic-Con in the world, and it's pretty nice, and we have the best zoo. But I'll stop flexing real quick. Um, it's nice, and I've only gone twice. I've lived here like over 20 years. Um, it's I don't go the one I've gone. It's not the way that like I think a lot of people go. They go and watch the keynotes, and you're the very first people to watch the announcements for all this stuff. Um, I just kind of hit the showroom floor and go to all the booths and see what people are selling. It's all consumerism. And I took Mila this year, and Ray took his stepdaughter, and it's cool to see it through their eyes too, because they're like so excited to see it. Hey, there's the thing from the thing, and here's that thing and I was like, yes, they have all the things from all the things. Like, it's all here. We just have to find it. That's all it is. And so it to say this room, I think it's called Hall H. I might be wrong there. Uh, has a lot of items in it. Is like you can't see one end from the other end. Um, at the very end of it, Ray is like, "Hey, I'm playing Street Fighter 6, which I'm gonna get into. Come hang out. Come, I'm in line. Come play. Bring the girls." I was like, "Okay, be there in a minute." No, it was not 1 minute. It was 7 minutes of walking, and that we weren't even all the way across. It's just jam packed. But none of that bothers me. Some people don't go just because of the amount of people, but I actually like it. And the big takeaway for me, and you'll see if you go to our world famous Discord, also in San Diego, curated in San Diego, is the toys. The toys are so incredible and lifelike. I took so many pictures of just the toys. There's so much other stuff, but that's really what impressed me the most. I was going to tell Nick, this year was the first time that I saw a bunch of like non-colored models, a lot of like things ready to be painted, way more than before. And I think that's definitely a direction that I'm seeing more things go into.
Oh yeah,
But yeah, if you like a thing, that thing is there, guaranteed. Especially if it's in a little bit of the more geekdom type stuff. It's a fun place to be. Everybody's the mood is great. Everybody's having a good time. Everybody wants to be there. It's just there's all kinds of little stuff going on right there. I almost spent $500 on a Final Fantasy model. Dude, go down one more, dude, and click on Tom Holland's picture. Does that not look like I'm standing next to Tom Holland? Like, that shit was
that's the
incredible.
wax statue, right?
No, it's like just like a statue you can buy, like a bust. Yeah,
What the
it's
fuck?
fucking real. Yeah.
by that, like
Um,
somebody wants that in their house. Oh my God.
I
the
bought
corner of the
gifts.
Tell me
bedroom.
how you
Yep.
could scare the fuck out of somebody with
I bought
that
gifts
thing,
for
dude.
everybody, but we'll talk about that at next episode when you guys actually come over here. And JP Diddy might be getting something in the mail.
Ooh.
Yeah. But yeah, if you have a chance, you should definitely go. Days, you should have went.
Yeah. I should have, man.
Yeah.
but I didn't.
I almost
Well,
had an
Well, you didn't.
opportunity to go. My niece texted me while I was still over in Europe, and she's like, "Hey, I've got tickets for Comic-Con. Did you want them?" And I was like, "God, dude, wouldn't you know it?" I haven't been in about maybe 4 or 5 years. It's been a while, and I've been several times before, but God, it would have been nice to go.
Yeah.
or give
While I
your
was
friend
there,
one. I would have wanted them.
Or
while
your
while I
friend.
was there, we got to play Street Fighter 6. There wasn't very much video games. It was Capcom, Blizzard, and Nintendo, and that was it. And they didn't have giant booths. Blizzard did, but anyway, yeah, Street Fighter 6 had a playable version, and with a cabinet and the whole thing, and they only had 4 playable characters. Can you click on the link there? I don't know if it works. Um, but yeah, so it's the best looking. I mean, graphically, there's tons of detail going on. The menu system and everything just looks way better than it's ever looked. They do a lot with color in this one, so every character kind of has their assigned color. I kind of talked about this when this first came out, where um, they were doing heavy black stroke inks for Street Fighter V, and that was kind of like their thing. And now they're going with like full color. Although Ryu's color is still like blacks and whites, which is like representative of him. Like it's just like
Changing.
it's all just about it's straightforward. It's about fighting and that's it. And so and Chun-Li is like blues and yellows, and you'll see all these splash colors come up on the screen. And while Ray and I were playing each other, we both did supers at the same time, like ultras or whatever. And oh my God, did it look fucking amazing! Like splash my character's colors, splash his character's colors, and it was almost like you threw 2 paint buckets at each other, and it was like whoever had the what do you call it, the priority in that attack got the win. But you could see these colors like going at each other. It was fucking awesome. Yeah, I didn't appreciate it while I was there as much, and then once I started watching more and what they were trying to go, I was like, oh, this totally makes sense. And so yeah, I'm a little more into it now, and this is probably unfortunately going to be a day one purchase for me. Yeah,
I think
I'm down.
I think I want to get back into competitive Street Fighter. There was a moment where I was playing it a fuck ton and I stopped, but this new one seems like it's a lot more. I don't know. I don't want to say learner friendly, but it has a huge roster. It just seems nice, you know.
Yeah.
And,
Another thing that I've never seen in a fighting game yet is there's live shoutcasting going on. So, not live, sorry, pre-recorded shoutcasting. I guess they do this in like the UFC games where like Joe Rogan and them will like when you do something they announce it. Well, they got the guys that shoutcast Evo and
oh no way! That's
yeah, dude.
awesome.
And as you're playing, and they were doing this while the better players we're up on the big screen playing this. It's it seemed seamless to us. Like it seemed like it was being shoutcasted. It was awesome. He's like, oh, there he goes with the double. Oh, he's going right. Oh, all the
The
hoopla
shoutcasting,
and
yeah.
stuff. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
fucking awesome, man. It was really, really cool. I don't know. It's something that you'd play with all the time while you're playing, but while you're playing it with a buddy right next to you, I could definitely see that being something that you'd actually use. You can actually pick your caster too, and they have the whole Japanese list and Americans.
Oh,
Pretty
that's
cool.
awesome.
Pretty cool. They're making a lot of right choices. I just hope the game. I mean, it felt good to me, but I got 2 rounds with it. Beat the shit out of Ray, just for the records.
I
It looks cool.
Yeah.
the last time I played wow, the last time I played Street Fighter like in a public setting was at the PlayStation conference in San Francisco, and it was Street Fighter 5 being like shown off and stuff. Dude, I have never gotten my ass handed to me so hard in a video game than that. And it turns out the guy was like a professional player, and he was just like playing to warm up because there was a tournament the next day. And he
He's like
I
being
was like,
fodder, dude.
dude, I was like, what the fuck? Like, what? I hit him maybe 3 times in 5 rounds, dude. It was humiliating. I was like, yeah, it was nuts.
There's levels to
Man.
the game, man. That's why
Definitely.
there's point system. All right.
I was gonna say,
Who's
speaking
next?
of
Yeah.
levels, dude, and different point systems to the game. Like one of the highlights for me that we played even together is FPS chess.
We did.
And so with the levels of the game, man, so you're actually playing a round of chess. Just for starters, this game is fucking free. And the graphics are ass, but that's fine. Because you're playing chess, and normally when you would take out like another pawn or bishop or rook or whatever, in this game you duel it out with shooting at each other. So it goes from an actual game of chess to a first-person shooter kind of game, but each piece of the chessboard has different weapons and things. Like they did recently just show, well, right now they're showing like the rook that has the sniper, and that is very fun. And you have different special abilities. Like I think your shift and I want to say your E does different things depending on what you are. If you're the bishop, you can fly around on angel wings and you're using a shotgun. If you are the chariot, then you're using like a bow and arrow, which is just ass. But what's nice is that you can speed through people, which is great. The queen is incredible. It's like you have a fucking machine gun and you can grab another piece to block the other person
What?
shooting at
Yeah.
you.
Like
Yeah.
a hostage. You're
Yeah,
holding
like
like
a
a pistol
hostage.
like a hostage. Yeah.
And so
That is
Emilio and I
awesome.
played it, and we played a few rounds of it. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was so, especially for a free game and like just kind of something semi quick and very fun to like play with somebody. This game is great.
I had
I
a
don't know. What
very
did
good
you
time.
think?
Yeah, I had
Yeah.
a very good time playing, especially since we're talking shit to each other while we're playing. And then it's free. I there is a flaw to it, and it's just like a fundamental flaw. I don't think they're gonna do anything about it, but it's like I really feel like the piece that's trying to take the other piece should have some sort of a tactical advantage when you go into the like maybe they start on the table so they have the high ground and the other one has to stay in the bottom, because what ended up happening is I got my queen over in her nest and she's just throwing all her pieces at my queen, but my queen beats her pieces every time. So because it's so powerful compared to the other pieces, they can win, but it's unlikely. You know what I mean? But other than that, yeah, it's a fun game. Pick it up and play it.
Yeah, I highly recommend it, and it's very fun. And I think, depending on who you're playing and stuff, and that's why like one piece would be better suited for another one. Like I was playing with my one friend who also did something similar of like just kind of moving his queen into my area, but I attacked him with the rook with the sniper, and I mean I was able to take him out
Oh, nice.
quick with a sniper shot. Yeah, so I think I just was using bad pieces against you, dude. So, but yeah, the game is a lot of fun.
Cool. Yeah,
Speaking of
I can
fun,
definitely recommend it.
yeah. Well, speaking of fun, another one that I want to talk about that both you and I played a lot of is the Angerfoot demo, dude. Cause that game to me it was just a fucking blast of going through and like literally blasting through doors with your angry foot, taking out dudes. But yeah, tell us about your experience with that, Emilio.
So, it's also speaking of free, this is one of the longest demos I've ever played. I think I played for at least an hour. I played 10 levels. The levels aren't very long. Um, it it's over stylized, like it's fucking just craziness. You're being attacked by dinosaurs with like spiked bats and guns, and they're just like all these. They're like hip hop gangster like guys. It doesn't make any sense. As soon as they kill you, they start twerking and stuff. It's hilarious. I laughed out loud several times while I was playing this. Different things just made me laugh. Mostly the dancing. The dancing was cracking me up, and just this world that you're in. You're this like apartment complex that never ends, and in a lot of ways, it's like a Hotline Miami type game where you play the game. You're like you start to learn where the guys are at, and then you make the run cooler and cooler by making it faster and faster. So you might kick a barrel into explosive barrel into these guys, and they'll explode. And then you'll pick up the gun. When the gun runs out of bullets, you throw it at another guy, and he gets dazed only so you could jump at him and kick him in the face. Did you get to the point where you got to the cutscene days?
Oh, was it the one of him driving?
No, he's sitting with his girlfriend.
Oh no, I had not seen that
Oh,
one.
it's hilarious. He does everything with his feet. Like, so he caresses his girlfriend with his feet. He picks up his phone with the feet. He he picks up popcorn pieces and flicks them across the room. And everybody's like a monster or this like weird. It's just a weird world. And then I got to the boss and I fought the first boss and it was both hilarious and difficult. Like that's hard to get both those things in one boss. But yeah, a little bit of stress inducing because the fucking techno is just like it's like drum and bass like
Yeah.
and yeah, I don't know, but for free definitely pick this shit up, definitely.
Oh, good.
And then you'll decide if you want to pick up the game again. Devolver Digital doing God's work out there.
Absolutely.
I want to hear like once an episode. I want to hear Emilio's attempt to like to make the sounds that a song makes. It was all ka-dook, 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 ka-dook.
I've got so much style, dude. You don't even know.
You don't even
Oh
know.
man. So, man, recently I have been playing so much Escape from Tarkov, and the reason being is that I kind of have two friend groups. I have like military friends, and I kind of have like friends that I knew from California and stuff. Well, all my military friends were like, "Hey, we see you playing. Why don't you play with us?" And then I've discovered that essentially these guys go super hardcore in this game. Like they play like they play for keeps. And it's kind of like unusual for me because I'm like just used to having a good time and just kind of like dicking around and stuff. But I have been playing this game so much. I think I've put 40 hours in the last week in it, and
Jeez, man.
it's like there's kind of like a stopping point for a lot of people, which I'm definitely going to stop when I get to it, and that's when you hit level 35. The the level that like is like the ultimate stopping point is level 70 because you can get like the final like main item in the game, but to do that you will essentially have to play the game as a job. And yeah, no, I'm level 32 right now, about to be level 33, and it has been a blast. Like I haven't had this much fun playing the game in a while. So
Not just that, Nick, but think about the value you've gotten out of this game. How much money have you put into this game?
So the version of the game that I bought, because there's four versions. There's kind of like a super Chad version where you get all the DLC in the future for free. I mean, not for free. You're really paying for it up front. There's like two other ones, and then there's like the basic like $25 version. The version I bought was $95. And I got it on sale for 75. And so yeah, I've been playing this game for like almost 4 years, a little bit longer
Yeah.
than that actually.
Yeah,
And
it's a steal for hours
yeah,
played. It's a steal.
yeah. And like when people ask like, "Oh, what's the best shooter game?" and then hands down it's Tarkov. Like the reason, and a lot of people get mad at that, like especially Call of Duty guys, and it's because the game is quote unquote too slow. When in my eyes, it's like the perfect mixture between reality and survival and stuff like that. So, I've had the conversation hundreds of times of like which one's better and all this other stuff. But yeah, I can't stop playing it.
Nice, man. It's so fuck. I'm almost jealous because like a game that you love is getting better. That's after 4 years. What the
Dude,
fuck? When does that happen?
The
Other
1.0
than
release
Skyrim.
is gonna be insane because it's gonna change the game like fundamentally. So right now, every time you like go into a game, you fight some people, you do some stuff, like whatever you need to do, like whatever quests you have, and then you extract, right? But the idea for like what is supposed to come when the 1.0 comes out is that all the maps are essentially together, and to be able to like go to certain vendors and stuff, you have to go to that map and extract at that map. So if you need to go buy medical supplies, you need to go to the map where the medical supplies lady like works at. And so you have to go there, get to safety, extract, and then you can buy medical stuff. Like it's going to be even more hardcore than it is now.
All the maps are going to be one big world. Is that what you're saying?
Kind of. So they've said that they can't do all the maps in one thing because essentially like 100 and something people in the game would essentially crash it. The way it works is that some of the maps are going to be spawn points and some of the maps are going to be combined. And so the main thing that they're waiting for is this map called Streets of Tarkov, which is this map that is bringing in a vehicle and a helicopter. Like it's stuff that's not even in the game yet. I mean, like it's been shown, but it's stuff that's like inconceivable to people to see like an APC driving around the streets and blowing people the fuck up. And it's a lot of people are excited, like because I've been playing this game since like the medical kits were fucking PNG images and they were flat, you know. And now you can examine them and twirl them around and like while you're examining them and looking at the details and stuff. So yeah.
Nice, man.
Damn.
There's another game that's exactly like Tarkov. It's called Hearthstone. Bobby, how's that been going for you?
Hearthstone, yeah. I jumped back into Hearthstone, but not the typical version of Hearthstone. Apparently, there's this new version of it, a new game mode, I should say, called Mercenaries. And I started playing that. And this is like an RPG, card-based combat still, turn-based. You get different characters, you level them up, they get different abilities, you level those up. You progress through more and more levels. Yeah, it's like an RPG. It's what I've always liked about Hearthstone is the single player content. I never liked the multiplayer, and for the longest time, that's all there was. That's why I never really played much of the game. And then they started coming out with some single player content. Now they have this entire new game mode, and honestly, I got to say it's not that great. I mean, it's very grindy, but I feel like every Blizzard game is. It's just like their mark now. It was really nice to be able to play it when I was sick and just like play something that was just like very not very undemanding mentally. So I think it helped with that. But the minute I started feeling better, I was just like, what am I doing? Like I totally realized I was caught up in the cycle. Like I'm playing to get the upgrade or to like, I don't know, to like level something up for absolutely no reason. I'm just caught in the grind cycle. And it just wasn't having that much fun with it. But it is interesting. I'm glad they're still trying to do single player content with this, and it does seem to be pretty popular. Like it's got its own Reddit page, and people are putting out YouTube videos on strategies and all this and that. And like it's I don't know. I guess it's all right. Yeah.
It definitely looks unique. Like I've never seen anything like that.
It is unique because I'm like trying to describe it and I'm trying to think of other things like it that I could compare it to, and it's really difficult. It's still got like that Hearthstone like back and forth combat with like using abilities and stuff, but you have multiple like characters. Like you throw down 3 characters and then you go up against like a bunch of other ones, and there's different character classes, and it's all your Warcraft characters that you know and love.
Do we have video of the gameplay itself?
Oh yeah, it's all over YouTube. You can
is this teamfight tactics kind of thing? Like
no, it looks like the regular Hearthstone table, but
Oh, okay.
imagine multiple characters on the table that are now fighting.
Okay. That sounds awesome.
Yeah. It's not too bad. I don't know. I guess I had fun with it for a pretty good amount of time, but then I just kind of like hit a point where I was just like, no, I can't. What am I doing? Because they do kind of, excuse me, they do kind of push you into some microtransactions. So you could sit there and you can grind for forever
Ever.
and ever. And it takes a long time, dude. I'm telling you, I had a lot of time on my hands, man. So I've been trapped inside of my house for like 5 straight days. And I seriously was just trying to like pass the time as best I could, and this was it. So I put in quite a few hours, and I could have just spent like like 15-20 bucks and just saved myself quite a bit of time here. And it's unfortunate when a game's like that.
Absolutely.
Dang.
Did you guys see the numbers for how much Diablo Immortal brought in its
How much
first
money they're
Probably
month?
too
making?
much.
Yeah, I heard it was a lot.
100 million.
I just read an article. I might have known about it ahead of time because I have an insider. But this guy fucking wailed so hard. He spent so much money, $100,000, that he no longer can PvP because his elo is up. So he can't matchmake anybody because he priced himself out. It's just like crazy. He bought himself a space station. Now he has no friends. Basically.
Sounds like he won.
Yeah, he won. He
Yeah.
won the game. 100 grand. That's what it cost. He won
He's
the
like,
game.
I finally got there. I've seen something that's really weird, and I don't like it because of kind of like the implication of it. I've seen people, for example, when Halo Infinite came out, people were buying all the content in Halo Infinite to make YouTube content. Does that make sense? Like they were buying it so they can be like, oh, this is how much you need. Like this is what this thing looks like at this level. At this level when you get it. And so many people were trying to like do that like, they obviously made thousands and thousands of dollars,
Yeah.
So
Same.
Days, you've been playing more VR, obviously.
Yeah.
What's Pavlov?
So the next 2 games that I played were VR. Pavlov VR to me is probably the closest thing I'd say you can get to Call of Duty in VR, especially since you can play some of the Call of Duty maps. So like I joined with my one buddy that I've played Call of Duty with a few times, and we played a map on Rust. I couldn't figure out, or maybe I wasn't high enough level to create my own loadout, so I just had to do whatever random guns they gave me, and fucking hate that, because then I'd sit there with like a Car 98 and I'm like, oh, I am ass at this game, and then just get fucking annihilated because I like to do more assault rifles and SMGs. So that's not my style of playing, but this game is a lot of fun and it's very cool, and I do really like a lot of the style and the way that it is done, just in the sense that like you grab at your chest like a grenade and then pull the pin and then throw it, like you're physically doing these things. And so I love that, and it's super fun and awesome. I really enjoyed how well the game ran for like a VR first person shooter, because I feel like that is quite a task to take on and do it successfully. And I do think that they did a solid job, because there was a Steam VR Fest that was going on until like July 25th, and this was one of the games that I bought. It was like half off, and I was like, all right, I'll buy it, I'll play this. And it's a lot of fun. Sometimes there's like some really weird wonky shit with reloading your gun. I've noticed there's been kind of some hiccups with that. And then on a map like Rust, dude, it's fucking chaos, because it's such a small map that there's so many times where you just load in and die. So I have heard that it's essentially just like Pavlov is CS:GO, and that's what Ray is saying as well. But I never,
Yes.
unfortunately, was never into CS:GO, so like I can't compare it. But to me, it does kind of hit that need and that itch of like what Call of Duty did, but in such a cool, like immersive way. My only complaint is that like, and thankfully, like as dudes, I don't think you guys would have this. Maybe some of you men have this issue, but like not all of them. But like the specifically the grenade and the knife, I like really struggle to get through, because I can't. Yeah, because you know where this is going. Like my chest, yeah, like I can't get through my fucking chest to where it is in VR, so it's like it doesn't recognize. So there's been some times where I've tried to grab a grenade and it's just like nothing, and then I'm like, oh, I had to like really press into myself to get it. So that's
You're-
just like a minor issue. But
I love how you're like, I had to really dig deep in myself to grab this grenade
I
to kill
did, yeah,
somebody.
kill somebody. I had
If
to
you want,
really.
I could come over and help you grab your grenades.
Oh,
And
fuck out of here!
I think
No,
what's funny is like this is obviously terrible, but like it's like, are you do you have breasts or not? How big are they? And then it adjusts like where the grenades are, so you don't have to grab your boobs every time.
yeah, it's very awkward. That's my only complaint, I think, with the game. That and like I said, the reload is a little kind of odd and awkward, just in the way the hands work. There's been a few times where I've tried to reload and like it isn't registering, but that's just minor issues. I think for what you get out of this game, it's definitely not an issue and really cool. I definitely really enjoy Pavlov and I'm looking forward to playing more of it. But yeah, it's intense and it's a lot of fucking fun though. It's cool. I like being able to lean over the side and like shoot stuff, and I feel like it's pretty accurate and lines up with the sight pretty well, and so I definitely enjoy that.
It by the way, it was a Counter-Strike mod for the longest time, and then it became a game.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's why all the Counter-Strike maps are in it. A bunch of Counter-Strike guns are in it, but a lot more
So I
because they're not
remember the
tied.
name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it when it came out, it was awful. Like, I mean, like people were dropping their guns all the time, like all this other stuff, and then like it's been really polished since. I've been keeping track of it. It's one of the reasons why I would buy VR sets. It.
Well, hopefully eventually you will get VR, and I'd absolutely play this game with you, dude.
Hell yeah, I
You
got
can
boobs
stop
too,
buying
so
models.
I could.
If you can stop buying models for 72 hours, dude, you could probably have the money.
Hey, I got a really good model you could buy, dude. It's called the Oculus model. It
Oh,
comes
yeah,
in
there
the
you go.
Quest 2. Yeah, you'd love it. It's great.
Yeah, it's
Speaking
like
of,
$300, right? I saw it at Costco today. It was like 300, I think.
The
that right?
Did you guys see the leaked specs for the new Quest, the Quest Pro?
No.
no.
It's supposed to be $1,000 to $1,400.
Here we
And it's
go.
like-
Here we go with like Sniper even looks tired of fact checking you, dude. Like he looks exhausted.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
bring it down.
Yeah.
Bring it down.
Well,
Thank you.
moving
Suck
along
a
and
butt.
moving along and speaking of exhaust, are you exhausted yet, Emilio, at playing Final Fantasy VII Remake?
I won't lie. There was a little bit of fatigue at some point when I was like, because half of the combat is like menus, you know, because you're going. It's kind of like a turn-based game. Half of the combat is turn-based. But then I realized that there's quick menus or quick controls. You can hold L2 and hit triangle or square, and it'll do the ability that you want to do. So it took that right out of the thing. It's almost like doing a Street Fighter Hadoken or something. That was pretty cool. I continue to look up tips and tricks because I'm like I'm winning. I'm doing okay, but I'm like I bet I'm not doing this as good as I could. I also got the ultra wide mod installed. That look at that. We haven't talked about mods in forever. And Days and I both modded something in the last week or so.
Fuck
It's
yeah.
easy, man. If you can drop and drag files, you can build a website. No, it's just that's all you have to do. You have to download the file, put them in the right files, and there you modded your game. And this improved it so much. I had these giant black bars on each side because I have an ultra wide monitor, and after the mod, everything was working fantastic. You can also fuck it with the shaders because there's not a whole lot of graphic options in
Graphic
this,
settings.
but it does look great. I mean, it looks great on its own. I just widened it out, and it looks great. So I'm getting close. I want to say I'm probably 80% of the way through. I might get really close tonight to finishing it, but we'll see.
Are you gonna
Nice.
get part 2?
I go back and forth, but I don't know. I'll know when it comes out. Like it depends on where I'm at in gaming wise and stuff. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Oh, and there was a whole drag scene I was telling Sam
Oh yeah.
I was telling Days about, which by the way, one of the toys at Comic-Con was him in full drag, Cloud in full drag, which I thought was awesome.
Yeah,
That's
isn't it like in a
awesome.
bar, like all the dudes are in drag?
Yeah. And the guy's singing a song and he's talking about how like gender has no place in art and stuff. And I was like, oh, I tend to agree. Also, during Prime Day, I bought a couple of peripherals. I bought the Corsair Virtuoso RGB. That's my new headset. It's a wireless headset. I spent a lot more than I've ever spent on a headset, but I wanted something with a good microphone and that was wireless. I go back and forth between wireless, and I guess you guys can be the judge. If you like the way I sound, that's a wireless headset that you're listening to right now. So
I think it sounds great.
Yeah, it's good. It's about $200, and I think it was totally worth it. It's ultra lightweight, very comfortable. I think it looks sleek and cool. Solid design and like you could tell that it's quality materials. I no complaints there. The other thing that I bought was a EVGA Z15 RGB gaming keyboard. It's a little more clickety clackety than I would like, but other than that, it's great. It's $100 off. It was $100 off for Prime Day. It's right now it's 69% off. I don't know why. It's maybe people think it's a piece of shit, but it's like rated 5 stars. The number one thing for me was the volume button there's a big flat volume button that doesn't get in the way. That's on the top right corner. John told me about his. He's like, dude, you got to get one of these things. It's like you never have problems with the fucking volume. You don't have to go into your settings to change the volume. Like it's just like it's just always there. It's so easy. And yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It's like 2.5 inches wide. You can't miss it. You don't even have to look. You just like your hand's right there, and you just boop boop boop, and you're right where you need to be. So I'm digging that. I'm not using any of the other shit that it does, but I got it for like $35. It was. I think it's much better than a $35 keyboard.
Nice.
I mean, if that's the case, then shit, yeah, I love keyboards with volume, like knobs on them, because like a keyboard that I used for like 6 years was the K55, but it had like the volume knob on it, and like I wish I bought that keyboard again. I bought a Razer, and it's not bad. Like it's not bad in any sense of the word, but I just miss that volume button.
Yeah. Yeah, it comes in handy. Like you wouldn't think it would because like my headset has a fucking volume button. Duh. I'm not always on my headset. Probably half of the time I'm using my headset. It's just handy. It's really, really handy. Days, you got the last one.
Yeah, the last one is I don't know, man. I love it and not so much at the same time. So I'm talking about Drums Rock, continuing with the VR theme. This game I feel has so much potential. So I'll start with the good. The good is that this is the first time that I have really kind of felt that something's taken a really good swing at replacing like a Guitar Hero kind of setup. It feels a lot like Guitar Hero. And I mean, it looks like it, especially the font and shit with it. But you're basically playing a drum set in VR, and there's so much on the technical side of this game that works super well. I'm gonna start with it. There is a free demo, so if you're on the fence about it, like get the free demo and try that yourself. And it's great. Like you have the 4 drums and 2 cymbals, and you have your drumsticks that you pull from behind you. You can throw your drumsticks onto the drums. They'll hit it, spin back at you. You can grab them again and play, and it'll give you even more of a multiplier or whatever when you're beating stuff. So these demons are coming towards you, and you have to hit them on the beat in order to push them away. And the game is designed beautifully. Like it looks wonderful. It plays really well. Like it does line up with the beat. My only complaint is that the songs themselves are lame. So it would be like having the most amazing running Guitar Hero, but it's only like John Mayer is the songs or something. You know what I mean? Like it's so this game
You just looked into that camera. You looked at John Mayer. You're like, "Fuck you." That's what you just done to John Mayer.
But you get what I'm saying. Like you would join. Yeah, like this game has so much potential. I joined in this being like, oh my god, could you imagine like playing Tool on this, or like any kind of metal would be awesome to play this fucking. This seems like a metal fucking game, and I'm super down for it. And they just have you in the campaign play I Love Rock and Roll like 4 fucking times as a part of the campaign. And I'm like, I don't hate this song, but like, why do you keep making me play it? Like, it's, you know what I mean? And it's so basic. Like, I don't know. I feel like there's so much potential for this game, and I really hope that they add better music. A lot of the music they made themselves, which makes me feel even more a little savage saying that it kind of is not that great. But
Such an asshole.
I know, I'm sorry, such a douche. But I just feel like there's so much potential, and like you could definitely tell that they put a lot of money, time, and effort into the way this game plays, and I'm super happy that I have it, and it's a lot of fun to play it. I really hope they start adding more music and different music. Like I said, I'd love to see some actual metal in this. I think that would be perfect for it. And just obviously, hopefully, with the money that they're making, they can buy the sound rights to putting like more known songs on here that would
What?
be
You're
great that
saying-
people would want to play.
You're saying Fearless Honey Badger wasn't a fucking
No.
banger?
No, yeah. I'm super conflicted with this game because on one hand I love the game, but like I just have an issue with the songs themselves, which is kind of like the cornerstone of how these fucking games work. So it's, a bummer. But it is super cool. Like one of the when you beat the boss, it's this massive devil that erupts up, and you have to fight like him using the drums. And so it's super fun and really, really, like I said, well made and well done. Man, please put some better songs on there. That's all. Oof. But it is rated very positive, and if you wanted to buy it yourself, it's $20. It does look like they are updating and adding more songs and adding more things, which is really cool. And I do give them some props for like adding their own music on there, but I really hope that they add just other music on there too.
Now she's just so on rock and roll. I'm so she went from loving it to that's like, if that's their only one good song that they paid for, that's unfortunate.
It is. So I Love Rock and Roll is the only song I think that they paid for. All the other ones are ones that they made, and like it's okay. And like I said, the game, it luckily is a lot of fun, but I just remember like I could play guitar, and I still could play Guitar Hero for fucking hours. You know what I mean? Because I loved playing so many of the songs. Like War Pigs, I loved playing bass guitar on War Pigs. Like that, and when Rock Band came out, playing System of a Down, I loved that shit, dude. So it's like to have something like that again now would just be, I think, incredible. And I feel like they really could do something like that for VR. And so I just got super excited. Like, what a great idea to do essentially Guitar Hero, but for drum set on VR. That's genius. And it's just, it fell a little short just because, yeah, the only song you recognize is I Love Rock and Roll, which is fine, but it's just like boom, boom, boom. It's the same shit, dude. Like, it's over and over again. And so
I feel
and
like I took Mila to watch a superhero movie, and she's like, "There's no Captain America. There's no Wonder Woman. There's just this guy." I'm like, "All right, cool." Like, I'm sorry, not everybody has the money for those people.
No, yeah, and I feel a little bad shit now because I can definitely tell that
No,
they
but
put
it's
all
true,
the
though.
money in
Yeah.
and they definitely put all the money, I think, into just making this game run so well and polished and be great, and I certainly respect that. But like I said, I hope that with the future money, they buy the rights to some songs that people like really recognize and can resonate with, because then this game really will go very far with that.
I'm gonna take a clip of that segment and send it to them.
Oh no,
I
they're
think
gonna
it-
hate that.
No, I find a lot of the. I don't think they will. Everyone I've reached out to, like directly with a clip of us like covering their VR game, have been like super appreciated. Super like, because not a lot of people are playing their games. Honestly, like the VR scene is small in general.
Yeah.
So any bit of feedback is cool. Like that other game, that synth one where you're running around.
Oh, Cybrid, dude! I
Yeah.
fucking love Cybrid. That game is. I played a lot of that game. I didn't want to cover too much of all the VR games I played, but Cybrid, man. Well, because so I optimized my laptop to actually be able to run Beatsaber and Cybrid. I wasn't able to play those for a very long time, but I changed the registry and I kind of fixed some things to optimize my computer so I could run VR better. And that's all it was. To think that I almost bought a new fucking computer when all I had to do was give my own a little TLC. Yeah, like because now everything runs great on it, and so like I'm playing Cybrid all the time, dude. I love that game. Like that game is just amazing.
Right.
Certainly check that one out, dude, because that's like the best parts of Beatsaber combined with the best parts of Pistol Whip. So, because you're just shooting dudes and you're slicing them with energy swords, like from Halo in like different directions. It's epic. But this game, I think, just has so much potential, though. The drums rock. Like, it has so much potential. Just want them to add cooler fucking songs. Just add more songs. I want more.
Maybe they'll have a Napster mod and it'll just work. Just have an auto pirate built
Yeah.
in. It'll be cheaper than buying all those. Who knows what that kind of stuff? Bobby, do you have any idea what like it costs to license a song for whatever?
I don't. I listened to a podcast, that Office Ladies podcast, and they always talk about when they have to license music, and the cost is outrageous. Sometimes 10, 20, $30,000. But that's a number one hit TV show. That's different than a video game. So I think you got to work out a deal. It's not the same price for everybody, right? You got to work out a deal with the company and like what you're going to use it for. But yeah, it's not cheap to license music, especially depending on what type of music it is. If it's like the Beatles or something, it's obviously
Yeah.
going to be a lot more expensive than something lesser known.
Yeah. I just want to see these guys blow up to the point where like they can easily afford all of those amazing songs that would just really be epic on a video game like this, because like I said, this game is made really really well and it plays really well and it's super fun, and I just want better songs is all, more of them. Like, think the ones that they have on there now are okay, but like they definitely could have the potential of having something really incredible with some more recognizable songs on there. More than I love rock and roll. And I do love rock and roll, but played it a little too much.
All right, cool. Are we getting into listener questions?
Yeah.
Let's do it. All right. First one comes from Old Man Dave. What NPC would you most want to hang out with?
Aoife Lockhart. Just we have a lot of things in common. She's a cool chick. I'm sure we would just like play video games together. That's all. That's all. Completely platonic. Nothing weird. No, she's a blow up fuck doll, man. She's crazy hot. Like I couldn't even be in the same room with her. It's ridiculous. I don't know. Somebody I would actually want to hang out with. Maybe who's the Half-Life guy?
Gordon Freeman?
Yeah, like after his
G-Man.
adventures. Like after his adventures, it's like to tell me where he's been and what he's done and the crazy science that went into it. That'd be a fucking coffee talk, huh? That'd be insane. He'd be like, yeah. And then these things came out and they fucking scream. And, yeah, it'd be awesome.
Nice.
Okay. But he says NPC, so non-player character. I don't know. I feel like that kind of limits us.
Oh, you're true. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, that's right. Huh?
That makes it.
I would want to hang out with Jib, the dark elf thief that you meet first when you're on the ship in Morrowind. Because he seems like he's a nice man. I get that he's a thief, but he's just wearing common pants, but he seems like a nice dude, because he's just like, wake up, we're here, are you okay? Like, and he seems super, I don't know. He was always like such a important NPC to me growing up, especially playing Morrowind all the time. So yeah, I don't know. Jib could get it. So yeah, he's the one I'd want to hang out with.
Sniper read my mind here. He read my mind.
I was just gonna see the cheese vendor.
No one has as many friends as the man.
Oh,
with
the one
many
from
cheeses.
Divinity?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The one
man,
that
step on the
yells?
line there, Dick.
You're stepping all over the lines, Nick.
Man.
Yeah. I don't know, man. That guy. You
Not
think
in the
it'd get
mood
old?
for cheese.
You think it'd get old, but it just doesn't.
Yeah, it definitely gets old when you're in town for fucking an hour. But yeah,
Nope.
then you later on you're thinking about it like I am in the mood for cheese.
Gets a block of Tillamook. You're like, oh, it's time.
Yeah. Anybody else?
I would probably do the cat vendor from Elder Scrolls, the one that's always trying to sell you shit illegally.
Yeah.
What's his name from Skyrim? He just seems like the fucking most dubious character, and he can steal anything you want. He's also probably got some like crazy stories.
Yeah.
He's also a fucking cat person, so
Khajiit has wares.
This
If you have
one is
coin.
completely honest. Yeah.
Yeah,
you got
that
one
guy
for
is-
this sniper?
Maybe. We'll see.
Khajiit has wares, if you have coin.
Perfect.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Next question from Zap. How did you expect us to survive with no new regular episodes for 2 weeks?
We've never done that before, man.
Never,
Nothing
yeah.
We banked an episode before when you went to Spain or Portugal. We banked one. Yeah,
That was a full
but
episode.
it's pretty rare that we do that though. In the 8 or 9 years we've been doing this, we've been pretty consistent, and we don't record these like months earlier and like edit there's not a process here, guys. Like, we're recording this on Monday, it's going live in like 10 hours,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
nearly
think they
didn't
could tell.
post it. Or I didn't post it at all. I forgot to post it before I left for my plane trip. I was like, oh, fuck. These episodes aren't scheduled. But luckily, Bobby came in and scheduled. And I feel like I titled them Do Not Listen, right? Just so that, you
Yeah.
know, people know, like, you're here for it or you're not. You know, usually our interview episodes that when we were doing developer interviews before got half as many views, and these ones kind of the same thing as a normal episode. So I think they were well enjoyed, but yeah, obviously not the sauce people come here for.
It's not for everybody. Zap also asks, what's one game or series for a certain developer that you have to play when a new game comes out, no matter what the reviews are?
It's tough because I always say that like developers are not the same people. Yeah. If it's 5 years later, 10 years later, they could have cycled through a bunch of employees and got a whole new people. It says the same name on the company name, but doesn't mean that those are the same people with the same passion in the same place. It really doesn't mean much. It's but sometimes it does. So something like Larian Studios would probably, yeah, I'd be like, wow, is this possible that it's not doing well? Like, I'd have to check it out.
Well,
Mine
play-
definitely is. Oh, good.
I
Go
would have
ahead.
said, Red CD Project Red, but then they put out a stinker way too early, which is apparently a good game now. But
Apparently
it was
it's
a
an amazing game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine's Kojima Productions. I mean, like, he's made, multiple of my top, 10 games of all time. And it's just, I don't know. Like, he can put out anything. Like, he put out Death Stranding. I'm like, you know what? It's an interesting game. I have fun. And I don't know what I think now. But my brain hurts. But it was worth the $60.
yeah.
And like, so it's like anything that he puts out, because obviously he's heading the production, and so yeah, like I if he puts out like a fucking waifu dating simulator, I'm like, all right, I'll play. It's probably gonna have some twists and turns and shit.
Yeah. Space whales.
Yes,
So out there, man. Days?
Yeah, for me, a game that's in a series that I would have to play when a new game come out is definitely going to be the Elder Scrolls. But for a developer, I've been really impressed with almost everything that Devolver Studios is putting out, or Devolver, because just even the Angry Foot of what we've been covering, and then Tentacular was phenomenal. There's so many of the games that they put out are just incredible that I would definitely play those from that developer. But a game in a set of series, it's Elder Scrolls all day. They could put out a pile of shit that's just the Elder Scrolls Khajiit poop, and I'd be like, sweet, sign me up. This Khajiit's got shit. I'd be super down with that. So yeah,
Days, I gotta
definitely.
give you some recommendations then from Devolver. I have almost all their games. Like, I've played them for years. Yeah.
Somebody at Bethesda is like, write that down.
Khajiit shit.
Call it the other moon sugar. Yeah. What about you, Bobby?
I'm sure I've said this before, but I play just about anything that Ace Team puts out. So a lot of people know their game, Rock of Ages. Is that right?
Yeah.
All right.
That's them.
Okay. For
Yeah.
some reason, the movie popped into my head because my COVID brain is all weird. But yeah, every game that they put out is just very different from the last. You know, they do some sequels. There's a few Rock of Ages games, but I'm always excited to see what they do different next time. And I just think they make really interesting, unique games that you know, are not like I don't really enjoy a lot of the big budget AAA stuff for the most part. And I do enjoy these ones.
I hope you get it back into the Eternal Cylinder, man, because I want to hear more about it.
Yeah, and you know, I don't really like the exploration, like crafting, I guess crafting survival type games, but I do have to get back into that one. I played a lot of it during the beta, and it's always tough to like re-enter a game like that, but I just got to do it and get over the hump.
Yeah,
And they
now's
have
a
a
good
new
time,
game.
dude. You're still
Yeah.
at home.
Yeah. They have a new game coming out too that I've had my eye on, Clash Artifacts of Chaos, coming out February next year. So that looks more my speed. That reminds me a little bit more of like the Xenoclash games. So I'm super excited about that one.
Nice.
I love the Xenoclash 1 and 2. I thought those were fantastic. A little dated now, but I really enjoyed them.
Neil Sprung asks, I'm going to take over, Bob, because I feel like we're losing you.
Yeah.
You're going to be dead any second. Neil Sprung asked, this topic might have been better suited for days of movies on the DL, but I challenged the casters to name an OST song for a feature film established by an artist that is better than the all-time banger On Our Own by Bobby Brown for Ghostbusters 2. On Our Own? Which song is that? Is that the main theme song? That's what it's called?
Is that what it's called?
Because the one that I'm thinking of is like too hot to handle, too cold to hold. You call the Ghostbusters, and I don't know.
Yeah, that's the song. Yeah.
Okay,
It's the one that plays like during that whole sequence at the end and they get the Statue of Liberty. Yeah. And that was oh god, Ghostbusters 2. So he posted this in Discord, and then somebody had mentioned Ninja Rap from the Ninja Turtles 2
Yeah.
movie. I thought that was funny.
Ninja, Black Ninja. Yeah, good shit.
But I don't know, man. Maybe like younger people don't remember this, but we all remember like back in the day when you had a hit movie, it came with a hit song, you know, like Danger Zone and Top Gun. They came like prepackaged and, you know, number one in theaters, number one on the charts. Like it was like a whole thing. So
I got one.
now
and
soundtrack. Oh, go ahead.
It's transgenerational, and it's what I sang for karaoke on Saturday night. Lose Yourself by Eminem.
Dude,
Yep.
so good. Because he's
Amazing.
rapping
So
about.
good.
Yeah. I think that might be
Yeah.
the winner.
That's
Dave?
the fucking winner by
Yeah.
a landslide. Yeah, Eminem's
so.
Lose Yourself for sure.
He's exactly explaining what's on screen because that's what I was going to say. Like, which one of these songs is really going with the movie? And he's saying he even uses the character's name. Oh, there goes Rabbit. Yeah.
It's him, and then additionally too, like that's just a song that has stood up in time, man. Like I was doing karaoke and everybody there was Gen Z, and I was like, yeah, I'm not about to start singing some Nancy Sinatra. These fucking people don't know who the hell that is. And I'm like, oh, Eminem. Everybody fucking knows who Eminem is. Yeah. And Lose Yourself, so iconic, especially for the movie 8 Mile. Yeah, it was great.
Days, can you, not that I'm asking you to do it, but do you know all the lyrics? Is that why you were able to do the song?
Yeah, definitely.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, hold that one for another
Dude,
night.
are you kidding me? Like for 2 years when I drove to work, I drove past his old hood and house. Like, yeah, like Eminem's like on 8 Mile, Dresden, and then like Novara, he had houses. He had a house in Dresden and that one's still standing, but the house on Novara like was completely leveled and demolished because it was just a blight. It's a shitty fucking neighborhood. But yeah, man, that dude's like the OG from the fucking hometown Detroit. Like, yeah, it could definitely fucking sing Lose Yourself. We should do karaoke for DLG Con.
Hell yeah. I as far as like songs that you can sing like with no like music or anything and like you just know all the words to it, for me is Trapped in the Closet by R. Kelly. I know the whole fucking song.
Well, he
Like,
kind of talks the whole thing, right? Or it's
yeah,
almost it's like a
there's a
story.
yeah, and there's like a bunch of parts where he does sing, but like Leslie's like, there's been when you date people, they're like, "What's your karaoke song?" I'm like, "Trapped in the Closet," R. Kelly, 100%. And she's like, "What?" Like, and I'm like, "Yeah, man." And like, I've only ever sang it in karaoke once, and it was a banger. Like everybody was going nuts. But
Nice.
yeah, yeah,
For DLG Con, dude, let's do it. That's gonna
I'll
be
do
such a
it.
great troll.
Someone's got to bring a karaoke machine.
True. All
All right,
right.
what else we got? I guess just Cornelius. A quick question for Nick. I've been playing Gran Turismo 7 and enjoy the racing and car physics are the best. What do you think about the presentation? The whole car cafe thing is very odd. And is this the cheapest full price game ever made? I poured hours into racing and barely can afford my Acura Integra 95, which I love. But point being, Forza throws cars at you and Gran Turismo gives you a low cost hatchback and says, "Shut up, play it, and love it."
Um, as presentation goes, and the cafe, I think I've talked about this a little bit. I think it's the oddest way to put a story mode in a game that is intended to be a collecting game, right? Because the whole point of Gran Turismo is not to have the fastest car. You can have the fastest car, you can have the fastest times, but there are other things that you need to do to be able to get every car in the game or every like rare car in the game. As far as like the money thing goes and like needing things, I would say in every Gran Turismo game, I do the same thing and I get all my licenses as fast as possible because the game will give you cars that you can use in races. So, like, the car I always buy is a Mitsubishi Lancer 2007. And if not, it's like a 2014. But the game, I can't use that in a forward wheel drive race. And so the game, if you do like a bunch of the driver's licenses, and if you need to get gold on all the driver's license tests, and they'll give you really good cars to use in like a forward wheel drive race.
So
So
you're saying like if you're able to drive the car, you're more likely to get that as a prize.
yes, so this game's really different because the way it works is that there's a cafe and the cafe presents a story mode, and technically it's kind of like a Wikipedia page, right? It's like, this is the Ford Mustang, it's been being made since like 19 whatever, and it's had this many iterations, and these are the special versions of it. Go race these 3 races with a Mustang or with an American car, and like you get 3 cars for doing all 3 races on that little segment for Mustangs. And so you can get the cars you need in the game just by playing it. I just think the best thing to do is just to get all of your licenses and make sure you get gold, because instead of just getting 1 car, you get 2. So yeah, it's 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 a fun game. It's definitely a way to kill time. Like if you love driving games, I think it's better than Forza, and I ended up actually playing Forza. Like you said, the game just gives you cars. Like you and this and in Gran Turismo, it'll give you a car and it'll give you a supercar, but you won't need to use it in forever. So it's definitely interesting.
All right, I think that is a show, guys. We talked about a whole lot of shit. Um, uh, so what are we playing next week? I think I'll be playing. I'm gonna finish Final Fantasy the next 2 nights. The one thing I absolutely have to play is I want to beat Half Like Alex, because if I don't play VR right now, I'm not gonna be able to. Because in my everyday life, I can't play VR. It's just too much shit. But if I'm gonna do it, it's gonna be right now. So Alex is gonna be. That's my one goal for this week. I'm taking 10 days off, so and then I was gifted a game. What's it called? Hey, Gorgon Tactics, or what's it called?
Guardian
Sniper?
Quest.
Gordian Quest. Yeah, I'll be picking that up and trying it out. And what about you guys?
Dinkum. I'm gonna
Yeah.
convince Lizzie to play Dinkum. I'm gonna get some of my D&D players and play Dinkum as well. We're gonna dink everybody. We're gonna get all the dinks. We're gonna dink your mom. We're gonna dink your family.
We're gonna dink you up.
Yep.
Getting dink down with the Dinkum. Yeah. I might be checking that out as well. I want to play definitely some more VR. I'm gonna be definitely playing some more Beatsaber. You're hearing it first. JP Diddy, I'm fucking coming for you, dude. I'm gonna beat you at expert on Beatsaber or whatever level you're playing at. I'm a beat it. All right.
It's so funny to watch him, dude, because he's like a thick dude, and he's just moving so fast, dude. It's like a lightning meatball. It's crazy.
It's
Yo, that's his
impressive.
ring entrance name. We have JP Diddy, the lightning meatball.
Dude, was that out of your back pocket, a lightning meatball? That's fucking iconic. That's good.
I don't carry that in my backpack. That's off the dome, baby.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
That's pretty great. But yeah, I'll be mostly playing VR. Cybrid, Beatsaber, anything else that I feel like exploring, and probably some more of the drum game. That was fun. I want more songs.
So is Dinkum Game of the Weeks? Is that something we want to do?
Yeah, let's do Dinkum
Ooh.
Game of the Weeks. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
super
I'm-
down for that.
100% not going to play it, but I will listen to you guys talk about it.
You son of a
Well, we-
bitch.
We should make a DLG island, dude.
For sure. Bobby's in, it sounds like, or it looked like. He was nodding his head as if he might.
It's either this or Hearthstone, dude. Like,
I mean, I've
Yeah.
always wanted to play Animal Crossing, but I
Oh
don't know.
my
When it was
God.
better explained to me, it did sound something. It didn't sound like something I'd want to play.
we
so
got
I
him.
don't know.
We got him, dude. We got it's.
He's in. It's a Dinkum
Bobby's
weekend.
getting
We'll see
dinked.
how it goes.
Get
We'll see how it
Everybody's
goes.
getting dinked. Get
Because
dinked.
my plan this week was, I'd mentioned this many weeks ago, but I wanted to get back into Smite. I wanted us all to jump in and have a little Smite reunion. I installed the game recently, and I loaded it up, and I was just overwhelmed by the main menu page. Like, it was just everything is just so different from what I remember, and it's so confusing and bright, and there's just so many things and icons. I'm just like, what is all this stuff? It's crazy. All the gods look different. Smite is a game we played a lot back in the day, a whole lot. And yeah, I don't know. I don't even know if I could jump back into it. It looks completely different from what I remember. So I don't know. Maybe we'll see if that happens. So I'm going to say Smite, but we'll see. Don't hold me to it.
Sounds good.
Nice.
Sniper, what are you playing these days?
I've been really going back and forth. I would like to do so much stuff that I never actually do. But YouTube series on different city builders. Right now I'm playing Airborne Kingdom. That's the one where you have to balance the weight of your airborne kingdom as you expand it and harvest resources off the ground. But a lot of these like casual story city builders all have a really neat hook that make the city building experience interesting. So I'll mess around on some more unique city builders, and they're usually pretty cheap, like $15 or $20. So we'll see.
Yeah, city builders with a storyline and some like a campaign that you could actually finish
Yeah,
and that are small. That's good.
Yeah.
It's a good thing. Otherwise, it's like SimCity's just like here's a sandbox,
oh yeah.
and yeah, you can't really win.
It's my 300th hour of City Skylines, and I'm still not bored of it. But yeah,
All right, now speaking for Chris, Nick, Amanda, Sick Bobby, and myself, less than healthy titties, unfortunately, but they'll come around. They'll be rosy next week. All right, guys. Bye.
Or Emilio's titties.
Hey, I don't have titties. Bye.